Okay, I am back from my mom's. I'm gonna do a lot of recording this week and next week, and then I go back, but I will have things preloaded, hopefully, so that there will be more videos. But, off of that matter, that's not what we're doing today. Today I'm gonna show you how to draw a Celtic knot using paint.net, your computer. Yeah. If you don't know where to get paint.net, there will be a link in the description down here. And yeah, okay, let's get started. First, you're gonna want a 9x9 grid. Mine is 10x10 right now for some reason. But you're gonna want a 9x9 grid in a very bright color. I already have the 4 bright colors that I will need. Now outline your grid with whatever bright color you have. And we're just making the grid base. Now in the middle of this square you just created, you're going to want a different color dot, and then you are going to draw a diamond around the green dot. So just do that, and you have created the grid base. Now what you're going to want to do, copy this and save it in your, oh, that was a Father's Day animation I made. Save it in your pictures as Celtic grid base, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, PNG or whatever. I'm going to go with a paint.net image because it'll automatically open in paint.net. And then you're going to want whatever size picture you're going to make with your Celtic grid base. Right now I believe I'm using a 50x50. And paste the grid. We're just making a small one. I'm actually using this for a Celtic texture pack for the game Minecraft. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It'll be worth your time. But, so this will actually have a sort of, I'm going to add more words later, but you can actually watch me create it. So yeah, now just paste this over and over. Make sure the diamond is actually intersecting itself, so it creates one straight line over. Now you're going to want to select this white cursor, and that means you can change your selection without moving the image. Now copy that, paste it again. This just makes it faster. I mean, you can do it the long way that we were doing before. And do it. Now, see how if you were just going to set it on top of each other, it would create this big line? You're going to want them to intersect. Now, just do that. And yeah, get down here. And here's the last one. I'm working with a square, like I said, because it's for a texture pack. It's for the pack picture when you see it and everything. Now, if you have a little border around, then you probably will, because it's almost impossible. Click Image, crop the selection, make sure you have the grid selected. And this is going to be your base. Now, you are going to want to get black, or whatever color you're going to work with. Black I find the easiest. It shades the best when you size it up. But yeah. Now you're going to want black and another bright color. I'm going to work with yellow. And you're going to choose where you want to leave an opening in your knot. Now you can cover the entire bottom or whatever. But what you're doing is you're drawing from one dot in the middle to the other dot in the middle. So say I want an opening right here. Just draw right up. And this does not have to be symmetrical. It's just random. Choose it wherever you want. The middle of the knot. You can choose the other corner. It's kind of hard. Your brain wants it to be symmetrical, but it actually looks better if you don't make it symmetrical, because it'll look more random and amazing, or whatever you want to call it. Oops, make a little mistake. What I forgot to mention, which I just did right now, you're going to want to put it on a new layer. So now that I have redrawn these because I forgot to put it on a new layer, we're going to start drawing. Now, when you do your breaks, you cannot go diagonal. They have to be horizontal or vertical. Now, when you start, you're going to want to make separate little sections inside of these grids. Now, I'm going to show you each little thing that you're going to have to do, and then you can work from there. Now, at every corner where there is not a break, or even if there is a break, sometimes you're going to want to go like this and diagonal. I mean, not diagonal. Vertical down and horizontal over to the edge, and then one like this, 2 pixels. This is 4 pixels, and then 4 pixels running into the last pixel as an intersection. And then you go down, and whoops, I'm using yellow. This does not have to be on a new layer. It can be on the layer you were working on. And now, when you come to an opening, like this, or if you come to an opening like this, you don't want to do this, because it's not going to look good. You're going to want to go 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. And then you work the same thing over again. I don't know what I just did wrong. There. Then you just work this same design over again. And then say you're at a middle space right here where there's nothing. You just go directly around your diamond grid. Now the rule to this is there can only be 2 of these lines inside of the square grid that are running the same direction. Now there's 4 in this grid because 2 going this way and 2 going this way. If there's 3, you have a problem and you're going to want to start over. Otherwise, you can get your knot mixed up and it's not going to look right. Now this is just a basic overview of what you can do with it. I've done bigger knots, better knots that actually you have to leave an empty spot when you connect them, and then when you resize them and everything, it makes it look more 3D, more all together. But that takes a while, and I've done massive ones that are like 30 grids across and like 20 grids down with big breaks everywhere, and they're hard to work around. So after practice you get used to it. Just remember, practice makes perfect, and keep going. I'm gonna get this done and I will be right back with you guys. Okay, we are back. I'm not done yet, but I forgot to show you another thing. Now when you come to a break that has a line through it and you get to here and you want to go back through, you can't do that. You actually skip all the way down until the next line, and it leaves this big open space. And now when you come to where it would be an intersection and there's a break there, you just leave the opening that I showed you before for the edge. We'll actually put it here too. And that's how you do that. Now I'm almost done. I just forgot to tell you those 2 things. And yeah. Okay, I'm done. And now you'll have something like a disco of colors and you don't really know what you have. Take your background with the grid, get rid of it, take the color that you used for the breaks, press shift, should turn your tolerance down to like 12, and dye all the empty spaces, whatever color you had, for your breaks. Now you'll have this sort of thing. It's like a pixel art Celtic knot. Get your magic wand, press shift again, click on the yellow, and then get your eraser, turn it up to like 95 or so, based on however big your knot is, and then get the rectangle selection tool. Click so that you unselect. Get your paint bucket and whatever color you wish your knot to be. I'm just going to go with black for now. Resize your image, usually about 512 by 512 pixels is enough, but it's obviously up to you. Now you're going to want to turn your tolerance to like 30 or so. Go to one of the darker spots of your knot, press shift just in case, and click. 30 was not enough on mine, so you're going to want to go up to 50, and that does it. Now you have a nice looking Celtic knot, and because it's made with the pixels, it creates this kind of wavy feature and makes it seem old, and yeah. Now if you want, you can actually dye the middle of the squares. I found this to look pretty cool. You can go around and just do that to your heart's content, and that creates pretty cool effect. And yeah, there will hopefully be more Celtic Knot tutorials coming out soon, and they will just be like more advanced. If you want to do like corner knots and putting knots in with each other and all kinds of stuff, that just makes everything look amazing. And yeah, you can also dye the corners different colors. That creates a cool effect. Just make sure the colors match, because if they don't match, then it'll obviously look ugly. For some reason, red and green match, and this creates like a rose. Awesome. Or you could just go with like blue, just shift, oops, turn your tolerance down if you're dyeing a single color. And blue looks cool. Or anything, really. You could just do whatever you want. That's not really my part of the deal. You just dye it whatever you want. And yeah, that's how you create a Celtic knot using paint.net. And I believe you can also use Adobe Photoshop if you like to spend your money on things you don't need. But yeah, that's that. I'm going to save this. Actually, not yet. And you can obviously put textures over it if you want to. I'm going to use this black hat, black adder, and I don't know what color I'm going to use. White should look good. That's much too big. And Celtic, oops, Croft. When you're putting word textures on, make them small, because you can always make them bigger afterwards. And yeah, that's the end of this video. Like, subscribe, favorite, and as always, vote waffle.